people I knew when I was younger are all dead. I'm the only one still. And the people that are alive...
Part of it is, if you've got questions about the internet, feel free to contact us.
Because,
or if you'd like to advertise, let it, contact us too.
Yeah, because we can, it is the best bang for your dollar. Because,
best bang for your buck.
Because it doesn't go away. One spot. Okay, they say, well, this will limit the amount of advertising people will do if they start paying attention to us. No, it will increase the amount of advertising. Because if you know that that your spot will be ran for the next 20 years, you want to get more spots because you know that people will. Oh well, I've seen that so much. Let's go. What's the next one going to be like? You could do, for instance, it gives you the opportunity to do a continuing story with commercials.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And now people are seeing why when I'm on a red carpet, I have a hard time with the microphone.
That's right, because she can't stand still. It's why, okay, we have to be wireless because if we hook her up to the cable, the microphone never turns.
If you move it, then there's a whoosh.
Yeah, the swish. You see the swish, and I mean, we can guarantee you that the last red carpet we did, we weren't allowed to use the wireless because of government regulation or something they had. So we hooked her up to the landline so she could be connected directly to the camera. She kept pointing the microphone down all of a sudden, and then there'd be a drop.
I was talking.
But luckily,
you have to sit there and hold it.
But see, because we're there like an hour and a half before anybody shows up, we were able to. It ain't gonna work.
Actually, we went through it like 3 times.
Because I sat there, and she sat there in front of the screen with the stars are supposed to be on the picture taken on, and she turned the camera, she turned the mic down. All of a sudden, there's no sound. We don't have that problem with our wireless system because the wireless is omnidirectional.
Well,
but when we're hooked to the landline, we're not omnidirectional. We're direct. Basically it's like a cardioid, and if you don't point it in one of those directions, you got 2 sides. You can point it, like north and south. If you go east or west, you lose it, and down you go on.
That's why you have to practice with microphones.
Yeah, no,
depending on the type of microphone they are.
No, but we weren't the only one. We could the
ones on either side of us.
The others on either side of us. The cameraman would say, "Okay, here, you take the camera, and I'll take the microphone." And they said, "This is you." He'd point the microphone down at the ground and speak. And when the people on the camera, they couldn't hear anything. And they said, that's what you're doing. You have to hold the microphone in front of you and then push it in the face. That's why when you see microphones being jammed in people's faces, because a lot of the times they are landline. If it is a wireless mics tend to be omnidirectional. Which is why you pick up so much garbage on both sides.
Although, part of it is I kind of like hearing everything else that's going on too, because you actually feel like you're there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you just hearing what that one person's saying.
Yeah, but what we did, because we did go to a totally directional mic at the last event, so I could make certain that we were actually getting something done.
Which was, he points the camera at me, and then he can hear me talk.
Yeah, I can hear her talk. Then you sit there, and then she jumps around. So you're sitting there, and then you're saying, "Don't turn side, don't turn your back," because you can't say, "Don't turn your back." So what you're doing, the camera is jumping to the side and trying to move it, or down. It's why some of the scenes you'll see from the last thing they're at about knee level, up above, because she, it wasn't only you, it was the 2 people on both sides. We kept people on the cameras kept saying, "Please stay sideways, stay sideways, so you can pick them up."
Part of it is like sometimes people watch your videos and you're like, couldn't you get a different angle? Well, sometimes that was the only angle you could get.
Yeah.
Because sometimes on the red carpets, it's like we've had pieces of paper, like an 8.5 by 11. This is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But
that's our space to stand in. And you've got a camera crew.
The camera crew can be like this.
Yeah, you've got Notaspringchick, me and a cameraman, all standing, 3 people in a spot that is
this big.
10 inches wide.
But actually, this can sometimes be
half.
Because sometimes they overlap.
Yeah, they overlap, which is why you have to really stand sideways. Or, like I said, a wireless mic is best, which is why most people have the wireless mic. But it's just... doing business on the internet is not like doing business anywhere else. We are, like William Shatner would say, we're boldly going forth where no one has ever been before. Every day is something new. It's a lot of disappointment in what we do. Because we really have felt that some of the stuff we have done, which was really good, never got appreciated.
Well, that's true because we don't have control over how many people watch it.
And it
We'd
is
like
all.
to, and sometimes people miss out on some of the best stuff because, you know, for some reason or not, there's
Because
not
we
enough
have
attention.
really done some great things. I mean, for instance, we will take credit to the fact that, you know, we broke some stories before other people got it. They didn't go to us; they went to the mainstream media, and it was our stories. And they're using us as the authoritative source for their story.
I know because we know the people that push it out.
Yeah, no, but that's just you know. I mean, like I'm honestly, I really am fed up with people treating the people on the internet like they were lost. You know, like they were basically the black sheep of the family. You notice the newspapers they're canceling the newspapers and keeping the internet.
Are they?
Yeah, the major newspapers are axing out. You know, like I think the San Francisco Chronicle is getting ready to bounce their newspaper and keep the internet.
The Chronicle?
And in Seattle, I think Seattle's doing it. Newspapers all over the country are canceling their publications and staying on the internet. So we shouldn't be the lost relegate. What I propose is that the people on the internet have an event like the National Association of Broadcasters or Consumer Electronics Association in a place like Las Vegas where tens of thousands of us, or maybe a million, can all get together at one place.
Here's the challenge is with what we do, there's not a lot of organizations that do what we do.
No,
because they're either focused on celebrity entertainment,
yep.
They're focused on, say, just automotive,
Yep.
or just
they're selective.
They're selective in a certain industry. So there's really not a lot because even places like the Huffington Post has people write in.
Yeah, but they're
not all journalists.
No, most of the people aren't journalists. Everybody, to be honest, everyone collected with us is actually a journalist. That we can absolutely guarantee. So, but
there is some responsibility that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Because believe me, there's many times that we're on the line and we see things that either paparazzi is doing or other organizations, and part of it is because we are Rotunda, the Radio Television News Directors Association. There are certain standards that we go by. Yeah. I mean, of course, sometimes it'd be fun to do the other stuff, but it doesn't...
No, but we get things. I mean, we have sat there and seen major personalities give people the finger. You know, they say, well, you're censoring things. Well, they're basically called what's in good taste. And if you don't consider who's in your audience, then you have no business being in business. I mean, we basically sat there. We sat and ate with a major star in the history of broadcasting that basically had a major stroke, and the man who was old enough to be his father next to him was being honored at the event, was cutting food and feeding him.
Yeah.
And other photographers were taking pictures, and we're sitting there with him. We didn't take pictures.
We don't post things like
that. We didn't post things like that.
Nor do we post videos of celebrities, although people probably would like to see this, going across a carpet drunk.
Yeah. Oh, we can
very obviously drunk and talking.
If you watch the Dancing with the Stars, you can see. Actually, you can see. We can guarantee you that some of that footage is ours.
On Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, they lifted something that we never put up. I remember the guy from Jackass drunk.
What?
Yeah.
We never posted.
We never posted it, but they grabbed it off of one of our systems, though. So basically, him smothered in lipstick, drunk, because he was, it's from because we never put that interview up.
We never did.
But it still part of it got grabbed. Just things we've never we didn't put a thing up. Robert Conrad, for instance, gave us permission to put something up of his. We never posted it, but other people grabbed it off of one of our.
That's why a lot of times, to prevent things from going on like that, is we clean off our computers on a regular basis.
Yeah, we do
on
it
a daily basis.
Before we weren't doing it before, which was a mistake. Now we make an effort to take. I mean, we're doing 20 to 30 gigabytes a day of transfer off of the computers. That's how much we shoot a day.
Yeah.
But you have to, because people will stick a Trojan on your computer that serves no other purpose other than to send material back. But, every day I go through and pull, I do this, it takes hours to do sweeps of computers every day. The internet is not like any other business in the world. If you're...